Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Let Go to Grow podcast. I am your host, Passionate, and this is a safe space that I have created for women, men, non binary, and everyone in between, where we can dive into the areas in which we desire to grow. Possible reasons as to why we're not achieving specific outcomes, and things we may need to let go of in order to grow in the areas we wish to evolve in. Whether that be people, places, environments, you name it, honey. We talking. So go ahead and grab you your journal, a blunt, glass of wine, take some notes because after some of these conversations, you may need to. But most importantly, this is a space filled with love, laughs, and healing. Thank you for going on this journey with me, and let's get into the episode. Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh, how's everyone doing? It's been a minute. I know I ain't released an episode in a few months, but your girl's been going through life, as I'm sure all of you guys have been as well. I hope everyone is still doing good, still hanging in there, still staying strong. First and foremost, I just want to ask a quick question. Where all my ladies that got a good man at?
And I also want to acknowledge my men. We're all the men that got good women. I need y'all to say something.
All right, I heard that. So, as you've seen, this is the episode, another episode about relationships. I got my man on here, Trey, aka Beauty and Trey, on all streaming platforms.
That's BDNTRE.
All right, go ahead and tap in with him. He got a lot of good music out, and we've got a song together that y'all might hear at the end of this episode. A little teaser. Nah. So yeah, I feel like honestly, like what's not talked about enough are people who are in really good, healthy relationships who are still experiencing growth and healing through like past bullshit. Um, I know us personally. Okay, hold on, quick little intermission. If y'all ain't smoking yet, like I said in my intro, drinking or whatever, like I mean, you don't even gotta drink if you don't want to. But if you don't have a notebook or something, like go ahead and get with the vibes because we smoking. I got me a joint. My baby got him a wood. So we're feeling good right now. Got me a little glass of wine because you already know how I do. Um, my baby got him some liquor. He's taking some shots. So we're feeling good. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like me and Trey have been going through our own transition and growth within our relationship. And I know as far as like my astro people, we are in a retrograde. You know how that be. So yeah, shout out to August 11th because I'm gonna get a break. But yeah, so as retrogrades go, dealing with past shit and past things that we just have to, revisit and relearn and kind of just continue to push through and grow through. I have come to realizations within myself and within me and Trey's relationship. And um yeah, I mostly feel like the realization was like on my part because what I do feel like doesn't get talked about enough is like how sometimes women can fall short in a relationship with a man. And I feel like a lot of women, like, I ain't gonna lie, we be in our feels and whatnot, and like we kind of be, getting on the man a lot. And I do got a good man. I got a good man. He does so much for me. Like, cause me, like, babe, we had our conversation a few days ago, and I had expressed to you about like how I was bringing up past stuff in a relationship and kind of like holding you accountable for other people's mistakes. And yeah, I feel like that's such a deep thing because a lot of people suppress it, suppress that emotion and suppress that thought, that feeling, and kind of not really know where their actions are being rooted from. And I'm just here to say that it's not on your current lover to make up for this mistakes and the sins of your past lover because they don't deserve that shit. You feel me?
And to be honest, like I always say, like just always stay like self-aware when you know commit yourself to anything, especially you know if you do got scars from anything, but especially a previous relationship, and then you try to commit yourself to something new. It's like you got to understand and also be aware that if you do that, like you can't put nothing on that the person that you get with, because then you ain't giving you know it you ain't giving your all or the real energy that you're supposed to something that could potentially be you don't know what, you know, like whatever you want it to be. So I just approach, you know, her like that, like, you know, and always, you know, stand on communication and always, you know, regardless of the fact, you know, even if it come to repeating yourself a few times, if she a real woman and, you know, you understand she do got scarred, like, you know, accept that. Like, don't try to like, you know, put your pride in it and like, you know, oh, well, that don't got nothing to do with me. It don't, but how can I help you? You feel me? Like, that's my mindset. Like, it don't got nothing to do with me, but I'm here to also reassure you that it ain't gotta be how it, you know, is or was in your previous. You feel me? And it's also just about the mental. So I'm mentally grounded and mentally in love and understanding of what I got. So that's why, you know, we had a conversation we do because we can accept and understand. We can also feel and don't like the shit, you know, but at the same time, it comes with growth. You gotta react, and then it's about how you react, you know, to get what type of, you know, energy you want from something.
And that's real. It's not about, like, it's about how you react, to your partner expressing themselves. And that's so, so very real, because we don't even be realizing, like, the kind of like shit, the kind of like mindset that we carry until like it's presented to us or like tested, to us. And I feel like that's such a very, very real thing, such a real gem, is stop putting expectations on your partner, and I feel like it's good to have certain expectations and certain standards, but like, stop putting, what's the word? Not unrealistic, but just unnecessary. There you go.
I
Stop
think
putting unnecessary expectations on your partner.
I think you said it exactly right. Stop putting expectations on the individual. You should always have a common understanding that if you chasing life or not chasing life, if you chasing something in life, you should already have a common understanding of the basics. So when you get in with a woman, you should already understand you should have a worker's mindset and the builder's mindset. You feel me? To always grow with your individual, not you feel me?
Ashe.
Not not to I don't know, like make her feel like she's the woman. She is the woman, but I'm telling you, my men, yo, these women out here is value, value. It like they say, it's behind every great king is a queen. You feel me? So just let that resonate for a second. Behind every great king is a queen.
It, it's beside, but beside every great woman is a king, because you'll never see a man's queen behind him. She always right next to him.
All right, you know what I'm trying to say. You know?
I know. I just wanted to correct that. All right. Can I get a shade for my ladies? I love though. I love. But yeah, and that's so, so very real. Um, because it's like there's a difference between standards and expectation. There's certain standards that you can have going into a relationship, and being like, I'm not going to tolerate my man cheating on me. I'm not going to tolerate my man putting his hands on me. I'm not going to tolerate, you know, um, shit, so on and so forth. Like, whatever your boundary, your borderline is, big or small, like, dramatic or not, if that's your cutoff, then, like, stick with that, like, your standard. But at the same time, like, when you get into a relationship, they're coming with their own baggage just as much as you're coming with yours. And you're healing and growing through your own shit just as much as they're healing and growing through their own shit. Men, women, non-binary, fucking fluid, whatever you identify as, it does not matter. A human is a human, a person is a person, and we all feel the same shit. We just express it differently. You feel me? But it's all rooted from the same, kind of emotions that we all possess. So I feel like what I've definitely learned with being in a relationship and being in a relationship where I can really like communicate and express myself, because I feel like me personally, it is like very hard for me to do so. And I don't know why. It's almost like an inner battle with myself. It's like, passionate, just say what you're thinking. But it's like, I don't know. And I'm like fucking just like going through a whole like war in my head. It's so crazy. But I know like through like with growing with yourself and like being with someone, you know, who's also growing within themselves, like it's just about like offering each other grace, and I feel like we be wanting grace so much like for ourselves, we forget to give it to other people. And that's such a very important thing that I have learned and that I'm trying to be more self-aware on and intentional about, and keeping that at the front of my mind and not letting it slip to the back, because yeah.
And I also want to specify something in grace. We not talking about, you feel me, the toxic grace where, you feel me, you in this cycle where now, you in this relationship you don't want to be in, or you in this environment where your energy is not supposed to be, and you just in it because of the other perspectives around you. I feel like you should value
The person that you're with.
exactly, and understanding the individual, and understanding
Yeah.
that nothing matters. You feel me? That, I don't know how to say it. Grace is a lot, but what is it? The common understanding of grace is
Yeah,
like,
like the common decency.
yeah, like, I'm just trying to say, basically, hold them to, making sure y'all shit is founded, but life is life and always gonna be life. So if shit happens and y'all both aware of the circumstances, do not put it on each other because of the circumstances. You got to be aware and stay aware with each other so y'all can grow and get through, and then be one of those, married couples that talk about how they've been married so long because they understood the process.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Ashe. Ashe to that. That was very well put. Mm. Um
Well,
I'm sorry. Yeah, as you can tell, that's why I'm with this man, because he's very intellectual and that is extremely sexy. Um no, but that's just so very real. That's just so very real. It's like Babe said, like you have to hold your partner accountable to an extent, but also know when to offer them grace in certain areas. Like if you with a man or woman who is just taking advantage of you, and you feel me, like you're paying all their way, they're not chipping in shit, they're ungrateful, they're talking mess, they're not even feeding you energetically, stressing you out, like so on and so forth. Like if you're with someone like that and then got the nerve to, you feel me, fix their mouth and ask for grace, like okay, they got enough grace. All right, you need to move on, baby. Okay, uh sir, ma'am, listen. Something wrong, all right? Especially, listen, look, baby, especially if you was like in your 40s or whatever. Like, I'm not knocking your age, baby, but at a certain point, it's just about like maturity. And I am 24, about to be 25. And you feel me? If I have this kind of knowledge and awareness to understand, like, if you with somebody who ain't serving you in any kind of way, ain't even dropping off good. D, you feel me? Like, all right, hold on. Sorry, was that a little too girl? I don't know, but you feel me? Like if they ain't doing what they got to do in no kind of area, like come on now, baby, you got to let it go. But if your man or your woman is feeding you mentally, physically, emotionally, and like my baby said, life circumstances is just not working out the way that you guys plan on it to, despite your best efforts of trying to make the best out of your situation with what you can, and both you guys are trying, just remember that it's not you guys against each other, and the problem is you guys having to work together to conquer the problem and figure it out together and work through it. And sometimes it's hard, especially in the moment when you feel like, someone has to like give a little more than the other person, or so on and so forth. Because, like, what I've really realized in a good relationship is that there's never going to be a point where you're doing 50-50. I mean, maybe at some point, but realistically, like, there's really never going to be a point, like, financially, where it's 50-50. But I feel like the spiritual and the emotional and the physical aspect of being intertwined with someone and connected with someone that you love deeply, and who loves you and knows you and values you and appreciates you, other aspects can contribute to that 50-50 if the financial aspect is not. You feel me? And it's about just knowing the value and the worth of your partner to know when to, like, I guess, just, yeah, just go with the motion and go with the flow and not stress too much about it, like have faith type shit.
Again, I'm gonna stress just paying attention to where y'all going and
Mm.
what y'all present is.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, if you're arguing every day, if it again, I'm gonna go back to some good advice I got when I was in a group home. If what they say, what's meant to be ain't hard.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And I live by that. You feel me? So if it's causing any type of disruptions that's stopping your progression motion forward, you feel me? It's something to look at. You feel me? So that's how I take everything, and it's really important to take it into your relationship, because if y'all gonna be together and y'all understand, and like y'all not going nowhere, and y'all in the what y'all not even in the cycle of just maintaining, y'all in the cycle of just trying to be good and be happy with each other and be able to talk and be able to be good at the end of the night and not be going to sleep weird. That shit is little, and y'all got to be thinking bigger and better for yourself first off, and that got to match the person that you want to be with. So, not telling y'all
For
how to
sure.
think about how y'all relationship should be, but you just isolate yourself, know what you want, and then if that person you choose it is not going into that direction that is positive and is gonna bring you, you know, this and this and this, then you gotta hold yourself accountable to making sure you make that change. Otherwise, you gonna have to be aware and understand what you are offering yourself as your present. So just think on it.
Yeah, that's very real, because we are all in charge of our own reality. If you don't like something about your life, change it. You don't like the way you look, go to the gym. Or if you don't want to go to the gym and you got the money like that, motherfucking pay for that shit. I don't care. I ain't judging it. Whatever. As long as you happy with yourself, you feel me? If you don't like how your relationship is, fix it. You know? Um, I felt like some advice that I had got literally from God. And honestly, like, I'm pretty sure we all see this shit on some freaking Instagram post or whatever. But when I had got the message in the moment, it was from spirit, it was from source, it was from the man of above. And it was, you need to make sure that your grass is being watered properly before you complain that it's not green enough. And I feel like a lot of
Hold on, I think you need to say that one more time. Say that one more time. One more time.
you need to make sure that your grass is being watered properly before you complain that it's not green enough.
Y'all ain't understanding what you just said, bro. For real.
And let me break that down. I have to sip on my wine real quick. Let me take a hit of the blunt. Hold on.
Brought to you by Colgate. Brush your motherfucking teeth.
Oh my gosh. No, we are not sponsored by Colgate. Hopefully at some point.
Talking shit. We are not sponsored by Colgate.
Hopefully at some point. But maybe that was a message from Spirit saying whoever is listening to this just need to make sure that you brush your teeth. Hold on, you brush your teeth today. No, don't stay. Okay, because when you're talking to people, they don't want to hear. No, they don't want to smell. Right. Anyways, but like I said, let me break that down real quick though. Like, I feel like a lot of the times when you're out of the honeymoon stage and you start actually experiencing real challenge and growth in your relationship, you begin to question, okay, was this like, is this right? Like, is this, is this like the right decision? Or um is like, I don't know, like, just you just start to kind of like doubt or whatever, just because like things aren't as easy breezy as they were in the beginning. And there's some challenges that force you to look within and grow past your comfortability. And I feel like there's a difference between realizing that your partner is trying to push you to grow past your comfortability versus it being wrong. And I feel like it's kind of like a thin line, but you really have to, like Trey said, like my man said, you really have to look and see where you guys are going, and if your vision still lines up, if your goals ultimately, romantically, career wise, physically, whatever, financially, still all align in all aspects, and it's just the change and the growth that's making you uncomfortable and lashing out in a bad way, the problem, then it's not wrong. It's just new. It's just different. It's just uncomfortable in the moment. And it's about learning to maneuver through it and how you're going to go through it and grow through it together. Because I feel like when you meet the person, the goal is to change and grow together, experience each other through all phases of their being and continue to love them through it and love yourself through it. And I feel like that's a really hard thing too, because like sometimes going through different phases of ourselves is not always pretty. That shit is not always pretty. And sometimes you don't like yourself all the time. So it's like subconsciously, you're like, how can this person even freaking like me right now? Because I don't even like me right now. You feel me? And learning to, that's where self love comes in, learning to make sure you're always loving yourself so you're able to love those around you properly, you know? And yeah, I feel like that's honestly just the goal, learning to find that right person to grow through all phases of your life with and continue to love and support the other person along the way, you know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, I definitely, you definitely don't know what I'm about to do right now. So I just want you to repeat something after me. All right.
Hmm.
So, just say on three, they always
Mm.
lead into our next little, little topic of this. Like this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So 1, 2, 3. They
They always
always gonna
gonna have
have something
something to
to say,
say.
and I really want to just get on that. And
Mm.
there's a lot of things I want to say, but I'm gonna sum it up and in just a real aspect. Like if y'all out here living y'all life based off what you don't want to hear, understand you stopping yourself from a lot of shit that you could be experiencing. I say that
Mm.
because like it's a lot of people I know, and there's a lot of people I haven't seen that care too much about what the next person think. And don't get it twisted. Like it, you human and I'm human, so I care about opinions. But that's where it go into like you value the opinions that really matter into what you what you got going on. So like they always gonna have something to say. Like it's gonna be a lot of people that deter you and try to, make you feel like, like it, it's not realistic or it's not worth the risk. And all I'm here to say is they always gonna have something to say. Chase your dream
Mm.
and and don't give a fuck about certain opinions because again, if you go in a certain way and you got your own mindset on what you want to do, grow and experience, fail, learn, and continue to do that in the same cycle and watch it, you're gonna be where you want to be at. But they always gonna have something to say.
Yeah, that's very real. And man, they always gonna have something to say. So shit, live your life the way you want to live it because they always gonna have something to say. Whether you're doing something bad, whether you're doing something good, make sure whatever you're doing, you're happy because, well, like my baby said, they always gonna have something to say. And he was saying it on some motivational kind of like follow your dreams vibe, and I wholeheartedly support that. And I do want to relate it back to kind of like relationships as well, because I feel like everyone's always going to have something to say about who you're with, what they're doing, how you guys are living, what you guys are doing and tolerating, whatever it may be. because it might be, oh, well, I wouldn't do this if I were you. Da, 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 da. Or, oh, well, my man ain't doing this. Or, well, my girl ain't about this. You feel me? Like,
What bro say? Don't listen to what people say.
oh, what?
You know about
Huh?
you.
About you
I
and
mean,
me?
that's besides the singing. If you just break it down into some lyrics, I mean, into some regular words,
Yeah.
that's the message. They don't know, and if you know and you genuinely know who you with, come on, man, you got to be present and give your person the respect they deserve.
Yeah. Ashe. Ashe. And I feel like, I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I'm gonna be vulnerable. Sometimes I do let people's outside opinion kind of like dictate my thought process on certain things in my relationship. And I don't know. I don't be doing it intentionally, but it'd be like it's like a seed that I like get planted there in the back of my head, and then I allow it to kind of sprout a little roots deep enough to like bring it up or say something. And my man tells me this all the time, you should know who you're with. You feel me? Like you should know like your partner, know your person. And I do. Like I do know my person, but it's like I don't know, it's almost like kind of looking for like a type of reassurance or maybe like yeah, like I said, like I just kind of like care too much about like what people see. Like I feel like what they don't know they can't talk about. So I'd be like in that sense, like rather just not even having to put like be in a position to even have to like potentially think something else or like be told anything else, like just because it's like the fuck don't tell me shit because now I'm mad that I'm told this, now I'm thinking about it, now I gotta say something because now it's in my head, like why would you do that to me? So like, I feel like it's like very annoying because it's like I can't even help it, like I have to regurgitate it or something. But I do feel like that's something that like I'm working through to like let certain things go in one ear and out the other and not let it like sit there and not let it, plant grow roots and like have to come up in certain instances when it's not even necessary. And I feel like there are certain things that like just people, who are in a loving relationship need to decipher like what's important to even consider and what are things that are just like nah, I'm just about to let that brush off my water like water on a duck's back, or brush off my back like water shoulder. Anyways, I don't know what I just said. Hold on, let me repeat that. Let me just let that brush off my shoulder like water on a duck's back. Yeah, y'all know what I mean. But yeah, yeah, just make sure you know your person. And like I said, like all love, no shade. If you're in a toxic relationship and your man is cheating on you or your woman is cheating on you or, they're not respecting you, they're blatantly like just treating you like gum on a shoe, you feel me? And whatever aspect that is, like gaslighting, manipulation, um, you know, no respect, unfaithfulness, whatever that looks like for your situation. If you just know you're in something that's draining your spirit and they're just an energy vampire for you, draining your pockets financially, whatever it is that you feel like is just like not serving you. I'm not talking to y'all. I was gonna put it like that. I am not talking to y'all in your relationship. Don't give them grace. Okay. Move on. It's been 10 years. They still don't got no job. Move on. Okay. Like, no. Okay. They putting their hands on you, not respecting you. Move on. Okay.
It's not
Like,
worth it at all. I'm trying to tell you.
because your body is a vessel. Just saying
And
that. It's
his
prize.
life is bigger than that, man. And if it's like you gotta think about little shit like that when it's millions of dollars and how man, there's so much shit you can be experiencing with a partner and they putting their hand on or treat you not accordingly to how you want to be treated or just you feel me, just doing weird shit. I mean, it's not worth the energy to continue that. Go through it if you've been through it for a while. You can see if it's a phase, it's okay to test shit, but man, be aware of what you're testing and be a real testee. Because if it's some shit that failed, that means to get the fuck up out of there. You feel me? But you stand and be aware that you stand. But also, it's basically the grace thing. It's like I also acknowledge like how it is hard to get adjusted and get comfortable with something new that might not be as what is it like what to your expectations. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. In our particular situation, like I understood, I did go to jail, giving it and just giving y'all a little insight to our relationship a little bit. I did go to jail, and I did give her, things that, she could actually, worry about, but I also show her my character and what I mean, what I'm, when I say I'm a man and I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna provide and all that, I show you, I'm not here to bump my head in the same place every day. I'm not here to, my life based around music, since 15, coming from Cleveland. So again, I understand, it's gonna be hard to adjust, but she did, understand where we could come to a common understanding on we both growing and we both going, in a positive direction. So regardless of anything, this is a lesson on life and a lesson on how to be a good woman to a good man and a good man to a good woman. So every step we take is new and it's something to always learn from. So I encourage y'all to go find that. Don't force it, don't ask for it, but just go find it.
I'll shame. I'll shame. And I do want to, go ahead and kind of like elaborate or add on to, not even elaborate, but just add on to what Trey said too, because, in that moment, I did give him grace and I did go through that whole journey with him and stuff like that. And yeah, I did hold my man down when he was locked up. We just gonna say it like how it is or whatever. But I do want to like talk more about that as well because I feel like not every situation is justified to do that for any kind of man. You feel me? Because I'm pretty sure I talked about this in previous episodes as well. But, my last relationship, I was holding another person down in jail. We were together before he got locked up. And, he got locked up and we were together. And I just continued the relationship. It was a very hard thing to do, very, very hard process. So, for all you guys who are even holding your man down, like multiple years type shit, hey, you're a strong ass woman. You feel me? Like strong as fuck. But for me personally, like for that particular man, it was not worth it. You feel me? Like it was I feel like just as toxic, maybe if not even more toxic with him being in there, our relationship, like for our relationship then it was outside. Well, I don't know. Maybe nah, it was I don't know. It was just a different level because he wasn't present, so it was just extra bullshit. You feel me? But I knew with Trey, it was so different because of his character and because of your heart and your mindset and the kind of man that you are, like the type of shit that you've been through and just the conversations that we've had. It was just like so different than like anything I've ever experienced from a man. you know?
I don't like jail. That shit ain't nothing to brag about, and it ain't nothing I'm trying to. But I also told her I had to experience life. You feel me? I'm chasing music, and again, I try to take a shortcut to try to, you feel me, get to a bag to help me, in that way. But again, God show you in multiple ways He's present. So
Yeah. And I just wanted to say like there's a difference between riding with someone who is just going through the process and making a few mistakes that they are showing that they're learning from along the way by not repeating like the same patterns versus riding with someone who is constantly doing the same things, constantly like jeopardizing your guys' relationship or, you know, putting you in harm's way or whatever it may be, like constantly, yeah, just like not changing their toxic habits, but I guess kind of like acknowledge or I don't know, like I don't know if acknowledging them, but yeah, acknowledging them, like then that's a different thing, because I feel like that's where the discernment and the differentiate. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit too lit to try to pronounce that, so excuse me, guys. But just that's where the discernment comes in with being able to differentiate between, you know, differentiate between knowing when to give your partner grace and when to hold them accountable. Um, And that's pretty much where it comes down to, like the bottom line, when knowing when to give your partner grace and when to hold them accountable. Because there's a certain extent where, like, if someone's doing something that's clearly like just overall like wrong, like there's right, there's wrong, and then there's like a little gray area where like you're learning, because like we're all human, but there are just certain things that's just like right and there's wrong. If a person knows that they're doing something to harm you, whether like physically or emotionally, and they're completely aware of it, and it's like a premeditated kind of thing, that's where you like hold them accountable. I feel like if it's like a certain situation, yeah, like us, like certain situation, where it's like just misunderstanding, miscommunication, and kind of just blockage within like the connection, whether it be like blockage within yourself needing to be cleared in order to see the other person clearly, or like I said, just like miscommunication or whatever, or misunderstanding within the communication, because that's a very real thing too, communicating but not understanding. And that's where you would offer your partner grace and, I guess kind of like leeway and just like sympathy and love, and just let them know that you're there for them. Let them know that you love them, that you care for them, and that no matter what you guys go through, everything's gonna be okay and it's gonna work itself out, and then it's just gonna be all right. You got anything to rebuttal or anything, babe?
Not to be honest, man, because I feel like it's kind of, yeah, pretty much wrapped up in that. It's simple. Who you with, you gotta understand them or not, like, and you gotta accept it or not. And if you choose not to accept it, actually act on not accepting it. If you accept it and not act on not accept, I mean, if you not don't accept it and you don't act on not accepting it, then it's like you accept it, but now you put yourself in a situation. So
Yeah.
you gotta be real, and also just for the men out there that's really trying to figure out how to build themselves up, continue to think forward and always be positive with whatever you're trying to do.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Well, guys, thank you for joining our open comfy couch convo. No, honestly, I really did enjoy this, and I really truly love the fact that this is like a safe, open, vulnerable space, because it just creates like a different portal that we can all just go through together and know that no topic of conversation is off limits, no opinion or um no opinion or emotion will be judged. And like I said, we're all going through this and growing through this together. We're all learning. This is our first time here on Earth, all right? Like our first life that we're remembering, at least. So, just gotta offer yourself grace too, and hold yourself accountable in the right areas. But it's all love.
And I also encourage y'all to hit her up and give her topics. If you guys want to hear
Yes,
her
yes, yes.
talk about anything in particular, hit her up, tell her, and I'm pretty sure she would be more than willing to, give you guys an episode or two or three or four on whatever topic it is. You got me?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Hit me up on Instagram, DM me at underscore PA222ION as in Nate, AY underscore. On Instagram, that's my little play on my name, Passionate, but I had to add the angel numbers in there. But yeah, hit me up on Instagram. I'm gonna put it in the caption of this episode, so y'all can just go ahead and copy paste it or whatever, and I should be the first one that pops up. But yeah, just DM me, ask me, tell me anything that you like to hear me talk about, and yeah, for sure, I'll definitely read it. I love y'all so much, and thank you for just being here, being on this journey with me, continuing to support me, show me grace, show me love in the process. And yeah, maybe hold on. Let me backtrack. I almost exited out this episode without praying. Hold on. So you know how I like to do? I like to close my prayers out or close my episodes out in prayer to send us off on a good note and energetic vibration. So Dear God, dear higher power, dear Yeshua, dear Almighty Holy Spirit, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much for continuing to pour your love, your patience, your grace, your guidance onto us and our lives and the people that we love and whom we plan on building and sharing a life with. I pray that you continue to allow us to have these open conversations, allow us to have open minds, open hearts, open ears and spirit to be able to fully receive our partner the way that they are deserving of, to be able to really just take in everything that needs to be taken in and, engulf ourselves in things that are beneficial and serving and liberating and uplifting, And I hope I pray that is healthy relationships, healthy careers, healthy life habits, healthy self-talk habits. And I just pray that you continue to guide us and lead us and cover your protection, your love, and your grace onto our lives throughout the journey and throughout the process. And in your name we thank, we pray, and we say amen and ashe.
Amen.
Amen. And thank you guys for joining me on this episode, and may we all let go of the things that don't serve us in order to grow in the areas that do. Until next time. Mwah.
And I'ma come vibe with you, yeah, cause you're my queen. So baby, come ride with me, cause I got dreams. And I'ma come vibe with you, yeah, cause you're my queen. You ride, I ride, you slide, I slide, we ride. So baby, yeah, you ride, I ride, you slide, I slide, we ride. So baby, yeah, you ride, I ride, you slide, I slide, we ride. So baby, yeah, you ride, I ride, you slide, I slide, we ride. Turn me up. So baby, come ride with me, cause I got dreams, and I'ma come vibe with you, yeah, cause you're my queen. So baby, come ride with me, cause I got dreams, and I'ma come vibe with you, yeah, cause you my queen. Hey, you ride, I ride, you slide, I slide, we, yeah, ride.